welcome to this exciting video where you once again join me in the wild, beautiful landscape of Scotland. And today I was just basically driving up this glen here of Glen Clova, and I noticed like some ancient, what looks like walls of some sort. So Glen Clova here is one of my favourite ones to explore. There's just so much history hidden all around, and it looks like I'm away to get absolutely soaked. Because this area that I'm walking here, it's been raining and stuff recently this morning, and it's still misty on the hilltops here. But this wall section that I noticed, it's just literally right here, not even far from the road. And this is one of the main paths that takes you up on some of the hilltop walks at Clova. And one time when I was with the channel DJ, we went to see an abandoned like plane crash from the war, but we never made it. But on the way back, we just basically had to go straight before the sunset, and we found an ancient, what must have been like a hilltop fort hidden on top of the hill. So there's totally ancient history on all the hills around here at Clova. And even more recently, like last month, a few weeks ago, we did an in-depth look at various history like Clova Castle and even older abandoned settlements and stuff in this glen. The history is so ancient. It's just mind-blowing, but it's so cool to come and explore it. And when I see something new like this, I love bringing new locations and fresh adventures all the time. This could have been some maybe little like farm or shepherd's enclosure, because this sort of land here has always been popular for like sheep and drovers and animal herders of the eras, probably buying and selling their animals over the years and like droving them up and down the country. Wow, I'm just like picking my route through the grass, so I'm not walking in totally soaking stuff. And it's just insane to see this. Look at it, folks. It's ancient because it's the dry stone construction. Wow, what has it been? Sometimes with these places, you never know what you're going to see until you come and explore them. And it's just all sorts of stuff that I've found over the years. It's just such a variation of things. You just never know what to expect. This one's most likely of farming origin, or like it's probably been a shepherd's main like animal sorting area at one time. But just check it out, folks. A new abandoned piece of history here on the hill that I've never seen before. Wow. It's so wet underfoot today. It's crazy. I should have really had the wellies on. I've got them in the car for extreme adventures. Because this one was quite close to the road, I just thought I'll come and do a quick video, but I didn't realise how soaking it actually still was. It's quite a funny shape. It must have been for sorting out sheep, maybe from this hill here, because you can see the interesting shape of these walls as they lead round. It's similar to, there was a thing we saw when we were on Isla, and it was way out on the moor, on the Isle of Isla, and it was just an area like this of dry stone construction from a time gone by. Yeah, probably even recently they've been using it, because I can see like more recent kind of like metal frames and stuff like that. There's another interesting bit up here. I'm just wanting to look over, see what it is. It's crazy like the way they've built this. Just check it out, folks. Like, look at the size of these massive stones, but yet look, they've also used tiny little stones like this. Every little stone there is what gives this wall its strength, even though it looks as if it's not that strong. Considering the hundreds of years it stood here, it's just mind-blowing. Ancient history here. Yeah, look, it's got this little side bit here. I noticed from the road it was more than just like a dry stone dike. That's how I was interested to come and have a look. Yeah, check it out. I love the way the wall is shaped here. See the way it curves around? So cool. Yeah, it's often fun just doing a short video like this, exploring something like this. It's a magic scene, and look at that kind of lichen stuff there. It's like a mossy coating, and it's actually a red colour there, which is quite rare. Check that out, folks. Crazy ancient construction here on the hill. Wow. Mind-blowing history. And it's all about the adventure into the landscape like this. That's what I love. Just check that out, folks. It's just such a magical scene out here. Just the character of everything. The reason there's so much of that mossy lichen stuff on the rocks is just because of the air up here. You can see how the clouds is low, and again, it's quite a damp atmosphere way up in these glens most of the year. Whoa, I'm totally slipping about on these rocks. But wow, what, I've said it a few times, but what a mind-blowing piece of history this has been. It's crazy just imagining the old farmers or the old shepherds that may have sorted their animals out here originally. And that would have probably been the first people to like farm these hills and use the sheep as a way of making their income, their occupation from the land here. But everything moves on, even farming and stuff, and even the sheep and stuff up here will still be, maybe not so much on this hill, but there is good sheep land like the other side of the road and stuff. Areas like that. Just like 2 miles down the glen is where we found the ancient, like buried, what must have been a little settlement from like potentially 1,000 years ago or more. So the history in Glen Clova is so ancient. It's just mind-blowing history. Look at the size of some of these stones that they've used. It's unreal. Wow. So cool, folks. Anyway, it's been a short one. I'm going to make my way back to the road now. Probably a lot of the stuff, like the clothes that the people were wearing back in those days, were made from the sheep's wool and stuff. The sheep's wool was like a crucial thing to the survival of the people living away up in the glens and stuff. Miles from towns and stuff like that. The towns weren't even that big back in those days either though, but yeah, it's just so remote up here. I was just looking down to see if I had any ticks running about like, but I didn't see any. There's just so much ferns. A few months ago this hill would have just been green, covered with ferns, and now that they all go that brown colour in the winter when they die off. Eventually they all flatten down, and then next year everything grows again. That's how the earth and the ground just builds up here on the hills over the years. A lot of ancient history from a long time ago, it's just a tiny bit of it sticking out the surface nowadays. And that's how we can tell a construction like this is probably only a few hundred years old rather than like 1,000. Wow, these clouds on top of the hills and stuff, it just gives it an atmosphere, a character. And it's like everywhere else in Scotland, like depending on the weather and stuff, when you visit a place, it's just got a whole other atmosphere to it. And you could come here on a summer's day and it would just look like a different place altogether. On a day like today, it's got like a mystical feel to it, and the different colours of all the trees on those hills. Autumn is definitely like one of my favourite times to explore. Anyway folks, what an adventure it's been. We've looked at a little corner of Scottish shepherding or farming history here. It's been cool to bring it to the world in this short video, but I'm going to end it here. Look, there's a bit of hilltop fungi, a little mushroom living its life out here, ready to spread its spore. But that's the only one I've seen so far. Anyway, we're ending it here. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll be back very soon with the next adventure, wherever I end up going.
I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper. I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper. I've been feeling weird, I can't seem to focus good enough. Nothing's really clear, sometimes it could be a little tough. I just need to feel like the end's in sight for me, but let's be really real, anxiety can foggy all this stuff. I've been feeling weird, I can't seem to focus good enough. Nothing's really clear, sometimes it could be a little tough. I just need to foggy, all this stuff. It sucks when you finally feel like giving up. Oh God, no luck. Everything feels like you're sticky stuck. I'm lost, handcuffed to the bed where I sleep. Don't give a fuck, can't stop. Unplug, feeling overwhelmed. I think I've had enough. Gotta find a way to get some energy. Gotta find someone who's a good friend of me. I need purpose to make it all worth it. I'm still searching and I'm still learning. I want a life that's filled with memories, not a life with regret in front of me. I need focus to keep me from hopeless psychosis if I keep moping. I got nightmares in my head. I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper. I got nightmares in my head. I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper. I've been feeling weird, I can't seem to focus good enough. Nothing's really clear, sometimes it could be a little tough. I just need to feel like the end's in sight for me, but let's be really real, anxiety can foggy all this stuff. I've been feeling weird, I can't seem to focus good enough. Nothing's really clear, sometimes it could be a little tough. I just need to feel like the end's in sight for me, but let's be really real, anxiety can foggy all this stuff.